Well, hello YouTube, it's me, Fortmaster, and welcome back to another The Men Talk reaction, and this is the overlooked villain in the Mario universe, and I'm fairly certain, given the thumbnail, that this video is going to be about Captain Syrup, and yeah, you're probably going along with the theme of the video. I don't actually know that much about her. I know she's like the first villain in the Wario, in like the Warioland games, where, like, while you're going around, you have to, like, go to her and steal all her gold and stuff like that, and then blow up the statue of her at the end of the game to reveal it's a statue of Peach, if I remember from that old playthrough I watched years ago now. Other than that, I don't know if she makes any other appearances in Warioland, apart from Warioland Shake It, which is where I actually discovered her first. And I didn't even know she was a villain in there, because she's just sort of a side character that appears in some levels and stuff like that. Think about it, from the little I can think of, like, she has not appeared in a whole lot of stuff, like, at all. Let's see. Okay, so Mentalk, I've liked your other videos. Let's see what other, and I've liked learning more about the history of, like, all of these, like, the Mario universe heroines, or villainesses, in this case. But yeah, I guess we should probably get this thing started, because unironically, I want to know more about her. So yeah, of course, as always, original videos linked in the description if you haven't seen it yet for some reason. Corner video linked to my Let's Play of the day. And if you like this video or any other video that I make, I'd very much appreciate it if you gave the video a like and subscribe to my channel, because over 3/4 of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, and I'd very much like that to change, because my main goal for this year is hopefully at 10,000 subscribers, or, get as close to it as possible. But yeah, with all that out of the way, let's get this thing started then, shall we?
Captain Syrup, the first major female villain in the Super Mario franchise, which makes her one of the most underutilized characters in Mario's world. Sure, Wendy or Koopa technically came first, and there was also Birdo before that, but Syrup was an actual boss, running her own gang and going toe-to-toe with Wario. A notorious pirate and leader of the Black Sugar Gang, she debuted as the main antagonist and rival to Wario, with her first appearance in Warioland's Super Mario Land 3.
Man, that's kind of funny. Originally, Wario was Mario's rival, but then Wario has his own rival. So you have to think, was that just a case of Wario having two rivals, which I could totally see? Or was Captain Syrup's rivalry of Wario very one-sided in that aspect?
In 1994. Can you believe this character has only appeared in 3 Wario titles?
Only 3? Okay.
This.
A leader to a menacing gang, the brains behind the operation, and arguably the most competent villain in the Mario universe. Seriously, up to now, she's the only one who actually wins in the end. So take a walk with me. In this Lore Lord, or is this Origin Oracle? I can't tell anymore. In this Men Talk segment, let's take a deeper dive into the lore of this mysterious pirate queen and see what treasure we can dig up about Captain Syrup. Also, shout out to Mecha Missionary for the idea. I got you. Y'all can't say I don't take requests. For context, we have to head back to 1992. Super Mario Land 2's 6 golden coins released for the Game Boy, putting Mario on a brand new portable adventure to take back his castle from this weirdo named Wario. And Wario has been reported over the years to be a character that originally symbolized the team's disdain for working on a game starring someone else's character. Shigeru Miyamoto, who is famous for being the creator of Mario, was on a totally different team, working on titles like Wave Race and Super Mario Kart. While Nintendo R&D 1, the team responsible for the Super Mario Land titles, were forced to create portable games to recreate Mario's success on the Game Boy. So that partially explains his design. But
okay. So they literally made an evil version of Wario just because, we don't like this. Okay, I guess there's that. Interesting.
In this game, Mario needs to obtain 6 golden coins that serve as the keys to getting back to his castle.
Also, can I just say, I remember back in the day, all the YouTube poops I saw of the 6 golden coins commercial, and also just the 6 golden coins commercial for itself. Like, honestly, like, that is still burned in my brain, especially the one where it's sung in like G major or something like that.
And once he's there, he ousts Wario once and for all. The game received critical acclaim and sold 11 million copies worldwide, making it the 5th best-selling Game Boy game of all time. And I can vouch for it, as it's one of my favorite Game Boy titles as well. But seeing it
Never-
receive
no
such a
experience with
response, Nintendo R&D1 went on to create a spin-off series for their new character, starting with Warioland Super Mario Land 3. Yeah, they still kind of had to use Mario's name to prop this one up. But this flipped the Mario formula on its head. You now play as the villain, or ex-villain, running around bashing minions from another unsavory group. The game kicks off after Wario's crushing defeat from Mario. He's penniless and needs to gather funds again to get his own palace. Luckily, he hears this rumor. The pirates of Kitchen Island have stolen the giant golden statue of Princess Toadstool. And so Wario decides to beat Mario to the punch in finding it, and cash it into the princess for ransom money, while robbing these pirates of their treasure as well. Enter Kitchen Island, home of the Brown Sugar Pirates, later called the Black Sugar Gang, led by Captain Syrup. Known
The Brown Sugar Pirates. Okay. Though, I mean, I guess, you know, with a pirate captain who's named Captain Syrup, Brown Sugar Pirates does make a little bit more sense thematically.
the world over for being a really rotten and ruthless guy. Yeah, they referred to her as a guy in the manual, and it's hard to confirm whether this was intentional to keep the reveal a mystery or a translation mistake. But actually in Japan, they were always known as the Black Sugar Gang, which you can see in the original Japanese manual.
Oh, okay,
but here's
there
where
you
it
go.
gets interesting. Black sugar is a special kind of unrefined sugar from Okinawa, Japan, and the Amami Islands in the Kagoshima prefecture, which is also where Warioland's designer, Hiroji Kiyotake, is from. So the Black Sugar Gang and Captain Syrup's name aren't just random. They're almost certainly a nod to his home region's famous local specialty. Kuromitsu is a syrup made from this black sugar, which ties it all together.
Okay, well, there you go. I didn't know that. No, never heard of black sugar before. I mean, I know brown sugar is just, you know, cane sugar. It's just, you know, made from, you know, regular sugar cane, but it's not as refined, so it still has a lot of molasses in it. That's why it's brown. And then the more you refine it, the whiter it gets from like golden sugar to table sugar, and then it goes to powdered sugar. With brown sugar being, you know, the quote unquote the healthiest of all the sugars. I'm going to look that up. How is black sugar any comparatively healthier than brown sugar? Okay, never mind. This did not turn out as helpful as I thought it would be.
Oh no, guys, they have black sugar French toast? I need to move on quick. So Wario must traverse Kitchen Island, braving areas like Rice Beach, Parsley Woods, Lake Asparagus. Get it? Food, because it's Kitchen Island. And Captain's...
You know, I remember I had this on virtual... I had the virtual console on my 3DS. Honestly, I don't remember any of this. I never paid attention to any of the world names, like, at all.
Syrup looms out of sight for most of the game, while Wario takes on her henchmen as he relieves them of their valuables. And he'll face bosses like Spiked Koopa, which in my head must have defected from Bowser's army to live life on the high seas. But the others are Minotaur, Penguin, Devil's Head,
Oh my god, what is that?
Bobo, and Ghost, all branded with the insignia of the Black Sugar Gang. And I'd love to know more about how the captain managed to get all of these beasts under her employ.
Money. You know, given that they're pirates, I very much believe that it had something to do with the promise of riches and money.
But Wario, determined to get his hands on the Princess Peach statue, overcomes these ruthless pirates, leading him to Syrup Castle, where Captain Syrup awaits. After braving 4 unique levels in the castle, Wario makes it directly to her bedroom, where she's revealed to be a 10. But my boy Wario is unfazed. But now that she's cornered...
Yeah, it's very much my belief that Wario is like asexual or money sexual, or however you'd want to say that. He's only attracted to money. He does not care about, you know, the sins of the flesh, as it were.
Syrup summons a genie from a magic lamp she has in her possession to try and stop Wario while sitting on this genie's shoulders, but our lovable anti-hero is still victorious. And with no other option, an angry Syrup flees, but not before throwing a big-ass bomb at Wario, destroying her whole castle along with it.
Just no reaction, just like, huh, that's a really big bomb.
Wario, of course, survives, and in the castle's wake is the Peach statue, ready for the taking.
Hey!
This is still hilarious every time I see it. But the game ends at Wario summoning the genie, who offers to grant him his wish to build his new palace, but he still has to pay him, which defeats the purpose of a wish in the first place.
I mean, we don't hear, like, again, there's no speech bubbles or anything. We don't know if this is a traditional genie or, like, anything else. I mean, given that you have to pay him, I'd very much believe it's not, you know, 3 unlimited wishes sort of genie. This is a much more limited form of genie, given that you could defeat him by throwing his lamp at his face.
But depending on how much treasure you obtain from Syrup and her henchmen, the ending changes, with Wario being granted everything from the entire planet, an actual castle, or his very own birdhouse. It still feels like the right ending to this game. So you might notice if you watch my channel that there's almost zero behind the scenes developer commentary on Syrup herself. Normally I'd jump into those details, but as of right now, they don't exist. And if
again, that's kind of sad, because, I mean, again, only 3 games she's ever appeared in. And, oh god, when did Warioland Shake Up? That was a Wii game, so that came out a while ago. 2008, so yeah. Yeah, we haven't seen her, like, at all. Like, not even in form of, like, a Smash trophy or something.
if they did, I couldn't track them down. This seems to be the case for many Wario titles, especially compared to the mainline Mario games, which are very well documented. Maybe that's a meticulous Miyamoto thing, but just like I said in my Wario World video, I would love to interview the minds behind the series myself if I ever got the chance. Starting with Kyoto.
Wait, grip 80 PSI, really? Okay.
So while this game didn't sell as well as Mario Land 2, it was successful enough to warrant a sequel, also created for the Game Boy, Wario Land 2. Captain Syrup would make her return in Wario Land 2 in 1998, getting her revenge by infiltrating Wario's new castle early one morning to steal all of his treasure. But Syrup is a savage. She robs him blind, leaving his giant tap running to flood his castle, and sets off his alarm clock to rub salt in the wound.
Oh god, wait a second. I remember I had this one on the on a virtual console as well. Oh god, I didn't play that one nearly as much as the first one.
Can you imagine if a burglar entered your house at 6 a.m., took all of your shit, turned on every faucet in the house, and not only set off your loud ass alarm clock, but tossed it somewhere in the house where you'd have to find it to turn it off first? So,
you know, they'd have a hard time given that I'd already be awake.
Oh, it's a rough morning for Wario, but in honesty, it's kind of deserved. So the whole start of this game is Wario fixing the mess in his own castle, not to mention this big ass snake that Syrup left in his cellar, I think. So of course this begins Wario's adventure to pursue her and her minions. Even though they reveal her as the antagonist in the manual, the cutscenes in the game hide the identity of the thieves, until a cutscene leading to Chapter 3, the Maze Woods, where we see Syrup getting away in a hot air balloon while Wario is in hot pursuit. And so the chase continues through the remaining chapters, with Wario tracking down Captain Syrup to her new castle, also named Castle Syrup, and corners her once again, but this time she's ready. In her little pirate hovering machine, she tries to burn Wario while throwing her minions at him. But once defeated, the new Castle Syrup is also destroyed, and victorious, Wario takes his treasure back home while Syrup blasts off again. The twist at Wario Land 2 is that they actually implemented a branching storyline. There are several secrets within the levels of this game that the players can discover, which can lead to additional chapters and alternate endings.
Really? Okay, I had honestly never heard of that. I mean, I remember... Actually, wait, no. Okay, wait. I have vague recollections. I remember seeing a playthrough of this years ago. And I think I did remember him talk... No, maybe, yeah. Okay, interesting.
5 additional ones. For example, at the beginning of the game, the player can just do nothing and have Wario continue to sleep while all of this chaos is happening within his castle. This automatically wins the level and causes the Black Sugar gang to get frustrated that all of this didn't wake him up. So they throw him out of the castle instead and claim the castle for themselves, which leads to Wario now infiltrating his own castle to take on Captain Syrup and her Mecha Curry. So after this boss, Wario kicks them out and they go blasting off again. This game is so good.
That's just an ending. Just don't wake up. Okay. Wait, I wonder how long you have to stay asleep for. Because I do remember, yeah, you have to push like the jump button or something to wake up first. Okay.
There's another path that leads Wario to Syrup's pirate ship, the SS Teacup, to which he immediately sinks, and as it falls to the bottom of the ocean beside this ancient temple, this leads to Syrup being captured by this guy. Yeah, and Wario just punches the
Is that the dirty bubble? I mean, it's a sentient bubble. What are you supposed to do with that?
Shit out of her at the end, wow. Or there's that time Syrup and the gang escape to a haunted mansion instead, with Syrup getting captured by this ghost. And again, she gets folded. And with Wario getting all of his treasure back, it's time for him to go home.
Nope, falls into a hole. Okay.
Oh, it was all a nightmare. But you guys get the point by now. This game doubled down on Captain Syrup being Wario's rival, and framed her as an equal notorious treasure hunter like him. So surely she was in the sequel, right? Wario Land 3?
No.
Yeah, boy.
We wouldn't see her again for another 10 years. Yeah, the Pauline treatment. Wait, they kind of look alike. Do you think this is what she's been doing this whole time since her breakup with Mario?
Oh Captain Syrup is actually, Pauline's secret identity. Oh no. Wait, maybe that's why Captain Syrup has disappeared again, because Pauline's now become a more like staple character, so she doesn't need to pretend anymore. Okay.
An alter ego? Or is Captain Syrup Wa Pauline? If there's a Wario, Waluigi, and a deleted Wa Peach, then...
Damn, this nigga spit!
Shut up! No, he isn't!
Okay, let's move along. Before I get to her final appearance, it's worth noting that Captain Syrup was featured within various Mario manga in the past, helping to flesh out her character a bit. Like the Warioland adaptation in the Super Mario Kodansha manga, where she serves as the main antagonist. The story loosely follows the Warioland plot, but this time Syrup and her pirate crew steal giant golden statues of Mario and Luigi instead. So Mario, Luigi, and Peach team up with Wario and chase Syrup all the way back to Kitchen Island.
Honestly... Right, Japanese manga. Okay. But honestly, I want to see like a translated version of these.
And this story is just crazy. Mario and the gang meet this friendly wandering goon character who joins them on the adventure, right? Meanwhile, Syrup wants to melt down their statues to make one golden one of herself, while also sicking the genie on the heroes. They beat him up in the game, but the castle still self-destructs, and this falling debris kills their goon friend. Like he's actually dead. It continues after that. There's this wild after story.
Wait, was this the section? I'm sorry, I right-clicked there for a second here. But is this the section that had the why is she feeling his crotch? What? I'm sorry, I only just realized what's happening here.
Grab his dick and twist it! No dick twist!
Syrup meets the gang again and thinks Mario is hiding a magic lamp in his pants and starts rubbing this bulge to try and summon the genie. So this confirms that Mario is packing. Just
Honestly, it's times like these that I can't figure out whether I like modern day Nintendo's treatment of its characters or past Nintendo's treatment of its characters, because honestly, they're just so they're just such opposite extremes. It's ludicrous. So, she's canonically given Mario a hand job then. Okay.
insane. Syrup also pops up in the long-running Super Mario Kun manga in a similar Wario Land arc, this time stealing the princess's golden statue like in the game, to which Mario, Yoshi, and Wario have to get it back. Seeing all these versions of Mario and Wario working together just seems like the perfect idea for a game. We can have a Mario and Wario team up. With DK Bonanza clearly showing that they could do a Wario-style type of gameplay this way, they have the formula. Nintendo, just do it. But back to Captain Syrup's 10-year hiatus. Why did Nintendo leave Captain Syrup out of Wario Land 3 and 4? Was it a shift in the tone of the series? It does seem like Wario becomes more of an explorer than an all-out thief in these games, but in Wario Land 3, there's this boss called Shoot, who seems to be related to a member of the Black Sugar Gang named Dunk from Wario Land 2.
Really?
Shoot here seems to have their insignia on his chest, but upon closer inspection, it's just a skull. So with Wario Land 3 and 4 coming out with no appearance for Captain Syrup, plus all of these
WarioWare show up your own ass game,
having all of these characters except Syrup, it seemed like her time was up until she made her return in Wario Land Shake It.
Honestly, that was the thing. I loved Wario Land Shake It. Like, granted, like, me being, you know, the incompetent little child I was when it came out, like, never completed it, not even once. Like, again, it's one of those, again, talking about why I even started my channel in the first place. I'd play for it, like, religiously for a while, get burnt out, then I'd put it down, pick it up later, forget how you played it, and decided the best course of action was literally just restart the game so I could relearn how the controls worked.
For the Nintendo Wii, released in 2008. I remember this game being incredible, and reviewers gave it a decent 7 out of 10 at that time, but this was an experience for me. It was an entire game, hand-drawn, and what a way to showcase Captain Syrup's return, with these beautiful animated cutscenes and a full-on redesign. The game begins with Captain Syrup infiltrating a museum to steal more treasure, where she discovers on one of the artifacts another world called the Shake Dimension. And it's in this dimension there's a pirate known as the Shake King who's causing all types of problems, and he steals a bottomless coin sack that can make infinite coins while kidnapping everyone from a tribe called Merfolk along with their queen, Merelda. So Captain Syrup wants nothing to do with this while also taking that bottomless bag for herself. So she steals this artifact and enlists Wario to go in there and be a hero with the motivation of money. So that's the whole premise of the game. Wario travels into the Shake Dimension, exploring its various regions while taking down the Shake King's goons and plundering their treasure for himself. So while Wario takes care of things, Captain Syrup runs this pirate shop, selling maps and other goods to Wario for a price, while calling him handsome, of course.
Right,
the decision to bring Syrup back wasn't a complicated one, with the producer of the game, Takahiro Harada, stating in an interview, quote, "It started with Warioland, Super Mario Land 3 for the Game Boy. The character controlling the final boss was Captain Syrup, but ever since then, she's been mostly overlooked. We thought it was about time she made another appearance. She's pretty and charming and a little devious." Despite what he's saying here, Captain Syrup kind of takes a backseat to the Shake King anyway. And
honestly, it's one of those things. I really do wish, you know, I do love the character, but I wish, you know, I probably wish she'd get the Pauline treatment where she became, you know, a mainstay at least.
And after defeating the Shake King, Wario's thanked personally by Queen Merelda.
God.
Oh, yeah.
What was I saying before about Wario being asexual? I think that just pretty much confirmed it right there.
And for a while, he's happy. Shake this bag and he can muster up as much gold as he wants. But my girl Captain Syrup had a plan, and takes this priceless treasure from right underneath Wario's nose. And not just the sack itself, she takes all the money that he shook out of it initially, which is probably why he decided to go double down on making a gaming company instead, or that's what I'd like to think at least.
God, you know Wario with how money grubby he is. He's just completely all in as in live service games.
So after this moment, Captain Syrup would never be seen again. And if it's any consolation, she's mentioned briefly by Gulliver in Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Wait, I'm sorry,
telling
what?
The player, why, you're even sweeter than the famous Captain Syrup. But without her double-crossing, I hope. So I guess with a bag filled with infinite money, what else is left for her to do besides lay low somewhere in the Animal Crossing world? But that means she is one of the only villains in the Mario universe to succeed and win. Still, she seems to have a cult following, and I would love to see her appear in a future Wario game if Nintendo ever decides to have a Wario game that isn't WarioWare. So in a world full of one-note villains, Syrup is the rare case of this female mastermind who wins, loses, comes back for revenge, and still managed to get away with all the gold. She's proof Nintendo can write a cunning and beautiful recurring rival, an amazing and an orthodox foil to a gross but charming anti-hero. And it's crazy to me that we haven't seen more of her.
Yeah. Though, again, thinking about it, maybe the reason they haven't is because, like, she's a redhead. I mean, you look at all of the characters, and they're all very distinct and very, like, memorable. But, like, apart from being a pirate, like, she's also, you know, a redhead, like Pauline. So maybe they're too close design-wise or something like that. I mean, again, the idea that, you know, Captain Syrup is actually Pauline's, you know, alter ego. I mean, you've never seen them in the same room. God. Yeah, but that's definitely going to be it for now. God, again, like, it is sad that this video, like, honestly, again, it is sad that there isn't that much known history about, like, the character and her design and how they came up with her. I mean, honestly, it's really sad. I would have loved to have known more. But, God, yeah, I guess that is going to be it then. So, yeah, I hope you guys liked. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Mario